Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of Star Trek Adventure Second Edition, Voyages of the Kintsugi. And we are taking up with our characters, as we're about to see, we're going to be taking up with our characters kind of in a roundabout, or runabout, sorry, runabout, not a yes song, but a runabout. And are we'll have some supporting characters in the background. At this point, we don't put faces to them. If people want to bring them on as we play, they're welcome to do that. But it may also be one where we don't necessarily have too many supporting characters. But uh, uh, Dan, one of the things we've established is that because the Kintsugi is the way it is, they have a number of different like shuttlecraft of various different ages and things from different leftover ships. And so there is no unified naming convention for the ships. One of them was a terrain feature before. The last one was Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. So what is the name of the runabout?
The name of the runabout is um I'm sorry to do this, but it was the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay,
Snoopy,
Snoopy.
the world's most famous beagle.
Absolutely. Uh, and it is returning. So Ward, the group was just your team was just on site. Were they on a mission? Were you at a conference? Were you at some kind of competition that you're coming back from and we see you in the uniforms for it? What was the thing that the four of you plus some others were at?
Um, I think it was some kind of fleet gala. Like, I think we're in those dress whites that we
Okay.
see sometimes.
Absolutely. You're in your dress uniforms, a fleet gala that you went to. Um, uh, Sivari, uh, what what bad thing happened to you at the gala?
Um, I think I got recognized by one of my father's old business associates and chatted up like nothing bad had ever happened between me and Tim and stuff like that. And since we were supposed to represent Starfleet, I think I was making like the politest noises I could until somebody rescued me.
Yeah, you were caught in a situation based on your heritage, maybe revealing some of that to the others in the course of that. Uh, and then Jolene DeVal, uh, the Snoopy, the runabout has been flying for a while. You have been together in close proximity for a while. What two characters have had like an odd tension, positive or negative? Who is it? You've got the four of you. You can have a supporting character if you want. What do you think?
Um, if they're okay with it, Varric and Linka.
And what do you think that is? Is it just like we don't know what has
I'm
happened?
even okay with me, Devell and Varric. I think it's Varric made a comment about his dismissiveness of Starfleet, and that well, three of us are like excuses.
Okay. Yeah, I think though, Devel, I think you probably taken it the closest to heart about that comment. Um, just to establish it, the Kintsugi Wall, your group was sent to this as kind of representatives of the ship. The Kintsugi has gotten called away, which is why you're on the runabout, heading back to rendezvous with the Kintsugi, which is going to take a little bit. So you've been flying for a while, and I think we see the new design runabout. We haven't really seen it on screen for the series, so we see that it's a Danube class. with some modifications to it, and we see it flying. And Ward, let's have you give your voiceover, your first officer's log.
Yeah. Um, First officer's log, start date 2374. The Snoopy is returning to the Kintsugi after the fleet gala. The operation went well, if we can describe a party in such militaristic terms. Unfortunately, Savari had a run-in with someone she knew, or well, had a from the occupation. Uh, this has been my first time being senior officer in such a formal circumstance. And well, I've been observing my fellow officers and have detected some tension between Mr. Varric and Devel. I think Mr. Varric's usual dismissiveness of Starfleet protocol has, as expected, rubbed her up the wrong way. I think I really have to sit down with him if he's going to continue on board the Kintsugi.
And Ward, I think we see you at the console, the helm. It's a big enough runabout that there are a couple of sections. There's a sort of front section behind the flight stand, and there's a rear section. When we come in, Ward, you're concentrating on flying. Varric, what do we see you doing that tells us like what you do when you have to travel for hours, in with a crew of people? What do you think, Varric?
I was reading up on runabouts.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
The question is like when we come into and we see you in this space, like what do we see that tells us like is the Varric way of passing the time, of waiting, of handling the long journey like this?
I have a database of musical theater productions, and I am tagging and maintaining and keeping it up to date.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Sivari, what do we see of you that tells us something about how they handle things on these long journeys? Are they anxious? Are they calm? Are they reading? Are they doing something else? What do we see?
She,
I'm sorry.
but it's fine. What is she doing? Sorry. I think she's messing with the plasma manifold. Just a little, just to figure out this is a newer model, right? And
Hmm.
this is a weird configuration that she hasn't seen before. So she's like poking, not in a way that would just disrupt travel, but just like, okay, that would um, just like inform her about what's going on. And
Absolutely.
I've been distracted by your shirt, Dan. I'm sorry.
Uh, Let me ask you this then, because this was a question last time. When we refer to, so she, her, when we refer to your character, do you want us to say Linka or do you want us to say Savari?
She's more happy with Savari.
Okay.
Officially, it would be Linka because that's her last
Okay.
name, but she does not like that.
All right. Well, I'll probably say Savari, just
Yeah,
so I maintain
thank
that.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd
Uh,
like that.
and Devel, what do we see you doing during this downtime?
I think Devel and Savara both attended academy together, like briefly, correct? Or was that like another ship thing? I think like from time to time she's trying to like talk about old, school stories when Savari is not busy tinkering. Otherwise, she's got the her pad with the latest swashbuckling romance that she's like, and of course it's taps away and it pulls up some other science paper when people are glancing.
Excellent. And you are at warp, riding along. Linka, you've got the plasma manifold kind of open. You're looking at that, running the Safari, the scans over it, and Ward, suddenly the runabout is rocked, like shaken, and suddenly you drop out of warp. The runabout drops out of warp, and it is, power fluctuates. Everyone is thrown across. We do the full, rock back on camera just to get that, and you will come down out of warp, and suddenly you realize that the runabout is caught in some kind of energy beam. There's some kind of tractor beam that has grabbed onto it, and looking up on the view screen, you will see a large ship. It is moving at subwarp speeds. You can see it's bigger than a Galaxy class. Um, it's not a configuration that you recognize, and you will see that there's definitely damage to it. There's at least two sections where portions are blown out or kind of exposed to space, or like has some crumbling, and you are being dragged into one of those sort of battle damage sections here. Ward, what do you do?
I hail this ship.
You'll open up comms, and I think immediately you'll realize that there's something interfering with the with communications. Like you're trying to signal out, trying to do comms, but there's something happening there. What do you want to make a roll for to kind of figure that like what's happening here?
Um, does that seem like uh, engineering?
Engineering or
Uh,
science, either one would be good.
yeah, I think engineering and maybe reason
Yeah,
or
engineering
yeah.
and reason.
Um, so that is 12. I don't believe I have anything that will help unless figuring out where this ship might have come from. So, starship
Well,
recognition
that'll be a separate
at a
question, but I'm,
stretch.
I'm
Yeah.
dealing with the comms question here first.
Yeah. So I think it's just a straight 12.
Okay.
Um, so let me roll difficulty 2, I presume.
Difficulty one.
Okay. So let's just roll that and see how we get on. That is one success.
One success. There is energy leakage from whatever engine is on the ship that is ambient in the area, and that is disrupting comms around here. Even as you don't think that they could hail you, you don't think that you could hail them. Mr. Varick, been thrown out of your chair. Your pad has gone to the floor. What do we see you do?
I immediately ask, is everyone okay? Does anyone need any medical attention?
What supporting character is present that has of course broken their arm?
It is a Talaxian. Nobody knows what their job is,
Okay,
but
so this is a
always
faceless character.
they're always complaining.
Okay,
Like,
absolutely. And they look. You expect them to just be complaining, but I think we get that shot of them bringing their arm up, and then the camera pans away. Uh, let's have you make a medical roll here. I think this is difficulty one for you.
yeah, if I can't deal with a broken arm. So let's call it reason medicine is 15.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh
there's so
yeah.
much momentum.
Three successes there. Uh,
I
uh,
think
uh,
that's 4 successes.
oh yeah, because you got the specialty.
I got it.
The focus right. So how do we know that this is nothing for you?
I am also, while mending the broken arm, scanning for life on the other ship. I'm literally doing both of those things at the same time.
Okay. So I will take one of your momentum away.
Okay.
And we'll put two in the pool. So we got two momentum in the pool. And again, scans are having a hard time uh, because of that background radiation leak, but there are definitely life signs on that vessel. Like you're definitely picking that up. Does that seem
Uh,
reasonable?
yeah, I communicate as much to Ward.
Okay. Savari, what do we see you doing immediately when this happens?
I mean, immediately I will check on A, is the runabout okay, and run through a few options of destabilizing the harmonizer of that tractor beam, basically that's caught us.
Sure.
Because you never know when you need to get. Because first of all, we don't know if they're friendly. They might need help, but they might not. And having an option to get away might be a good idea.
Reason plus engineering.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll say that you had your plasma conduits open, so I'm
Yeah.
going to give you that.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So that means I get
14 or less, and if you roll 5 or less, it's two
uh-huh.
successes.
And how many dice do I roll?
2d20.
2d20. Okay. And this is not the dice roll. Sorry.
No,
This
that's
is
okay. This is only the
the
second
dice
time you've been here
roll.
with us.
Um, so I need two of these. Yes. Okay. Roll. We go. So
Okay.
3 and an 11, which means that's 3 successes,
Three
right?
successes.
Yeah.
So you can tell that there is some damage to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it looks like the dragging it out of warp
Mm-hmm.
has temporarily ruptured the warp coil.
Oh no.
That's going to be need to be fixed
Mm-hmm.
before you get this ship out to
Mm-hmm.
warp again.
Okay.
What you'll be able to determine is this is not a tractor beam that you're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's not a very good one.
Okay.
In that, in not in the sense of strength, but in the sense that you are a little afraid that if you push too hard against this, that it actually might break the ship up
Oh,
because of
okay.
the harmonics on it. It feels
Ooh.
very, very weirdly crude to you.
Okay, I will communicate that to Lieutenant Commander Ward,
Okay,
and then start repairs on the warp coils because I assume that that might be a priority right now.
absolutely. And Devel, what do we see you doing?
I think she's immediately on the sensors, and we've already determined there was radiation interference. She's trying to figure out what type of radiation and looking up ways to counterbalance.
Okay, absolutely. What do you want to roll for that?
I think science and reason, I
Yeah,
guess.
science and reason. That makes sense.
No focus. So
That's correct.
yeah.
You've got some momentum in the pool. Do you want to spend momentum?
Nah.
Okay,
I don't know what the difficulty is, but I'll just go for it. That's two successes, I think.
two successes. Uh, so you
I think.
will uh,
Yeah.
be able to tell that the ambient radiation is more affecting the electromagnetic spectrum. It's more doing interfaces on that. You wouldn't want to be in this radiation for months or years, but in the short term, there's no physical danger to you for it. Um, and it definitely, I think you can tell, like whatever engine they've got is leaking this, and it's not an intended thing. It's not like that's the necessary runoff or anything like that. Like something is clearly wrong with that vessel.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll see the runabout get pulled into this gap. We get a little bit, maybe an homage to Star Wars, of the Millennium Falcon being drawn into the space on the Death Star of the ship being brought in. This is clearly some kind of maybe storage area or something. It is wider open. The There's definitely damage to the outside, uh, but you will be brought in, and the thing is very bad. because like once it gets you in, and you can see that there's some kind of force field for containing the atmosphere kind of that comes up, but it when it stops, it kind of drops the ship. Like
Oh.
it kind of there's like a 5 foot drop that it
Uh-huh.
does, and then uh, and you will come to a stop inside this darkened like cargo bay. There's really nothing around in the cargo bay that you can see because all of that's gotten sucked out into the void at some point. You can see that there is a protective field to keep what atmosphere here there is, and but otherwise you can see out into space. Ward.
Um, does this count as an away mission if we set
This
board?
this will count as an away mission for purposes of your talents.
Yeah, so for Devel, maybe um let's do some prep work before we step foot here.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
Do you want to, so we hand it over to Devel then, and we'll come back to you.
yeah, yeah. I think we get few enough
okay,
opportunities to
sure.
use this
Yeah,
talent.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, but all right. I just wanted to check with Lowell. It is we get to re-roll any task to navigate terrain or circumvent a hazard or obstacle. Would those be in this
there will be
situation?
hazards.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm just wanting to make sure that like it fits. So yeah, I'll
I think
spend
it
the
is,
two
and
momentum.
I will modify that to fit as necessary if you want to spend those two
Yes,
momentum.
I will. So during the expedition, any member of the away team may re-roll a single D20 up to amount of times as my science rating, which is 5. So,
Ooh.
So if you want to put that in the side just below the threat, that'd be great. And what do we see? Like how do we see you doing that? Like you're an expedition expert. This happens. What do we see you doing immediately?
she's studying the radiation. She's like, pulling up all the effects, making sure that we have, the little things. You've said that I've determined short term it's not so bad, but like, hey, preparation is key.
Excellent, excellent. And you will get that set. So
One
stand
question before we get out.
sure.
Should we send a distress beacon signal?
Well, comms were down as far as I recall, so
I mean,
uh,
we
You can
can
certainly turn on the
I
distress call.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
uh,
maybe modulate it a little. I mean, I've analyzed. I've
Uh,
looked at
yeah.
the radio, the
We'll
harmonics of the
assume
force
that the
field.
distress call is going, and
Yes.
if
Okay.
you want to do an engineering task to try
Okay.
and later to break through the comms, one thing I do want to
Mm-hmm.
mention, so you are an away team. This is not one you necessarily
Mm-hmm.
prepped for. So
Mm-hmm.
what does everybody have? Everybody has their uniform. They have a tricorder. If they wish it, you have a phaser type 1 with you. Uh, our engineer has an engineering kit, and our doctor has a medical kit. Uh, Other equipment can be asked for. Uh, it has a momentum cost. That's how equipment works on sort of away missions. For something that is easily replicable or probably in storage, that's 1 momentum. For anything that would be bulky, specialized, or weird, it's 2 momentum. So just to kind of put that on the table. So Ward, Devel is running the readings, getting the stuff together. What do we see you do?
I think if I hadn't already taken off my nice dress jacket that is now going on the back of my seat,
Okay.
you know, finally free of its confines. And yeah, Savari, I know you probably want to, well, would like to stay aboard and fix our warp drive, but I think we might need your expertise aboard this mystery ship.
Yeah, I assume so. So I'm coming.
Okay.
This is not a hard fix anyway.
Mhm. Mr. Vark, given that there may be people aboard who need our help, I would be inclined to bring you as well.
Yes,
If you
I'll be
can
coming with you.
drag yourself away from exciting Opera database work.
I can be dragged away for this. Yes.
And a quick check will definitely show that it is breathable atmosphere, not entirely uh, 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 fully identical to your usual sort of ship air, but certainly good enough. And I think you've got, the standard inoculations for any kind of like a standard pathogens. Uh, and you can open the shuttle ward and walk out. It is cold in here. We'll see your breath. They've refrigerated the set briefly, or else they've done it with CG. And we'll see you all come down into this big, echoey, darkened cargo bay. What do you do, Ward?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at some internal paneling. Maybe there's a control panel that might give us a hint. Maybe we can plug in the universal translator module of our tricorder and find some kind of language codes that might tell us who these people are.
Let's have you do reason plus engineering, difficulty two.
Yeah. Uh, is
Tricorder
this?
will actually
Yeah.
reduce the difficulty by one.
Okay. I mean, wondering. This is not something I've ever even thought about. Is improvisation work here, or?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think you described it as trying to improvise here.
uh, So let me
So
do
difficulty one
this.
with the tricorder.
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry, actually no. The tricorder gives you an extra die is what it does.
an
I
extra
forgot.
die.
Yeah.
And that's on a ship scoring, or is that my own
I'm just
scoring?
using your own scoring on that.
Okay. Okay, so let me roll those three. So that is no. Let me check. Two successes.
Two successes. So I think one of the things you'll realize immediately as you go up is there are what you expect to be like computer consoles for, the interface and things like that. And they are down. Like they are down and locked. And it's like you try to see if you can power it up. You try to see if you can get it, and something is seriously wrong with it. Does that feel like a fair answer?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I'll tell Savari uh that the systems are down. We might have to get out uh running a bypass. So yeah, let's see what Lieutenant Savari can do for us.
So let's cut to Savari.
Poking around at the tech on that ship thing, looking for a anything that we can connect to have an analysis about of the ship systems.
Sure. Again, reason plus engineering seems to be the
Okay.
right way to handle this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm not looking to sabotage it. This is not about a wormhole. So it's reason plus engineering, right?
Yep.
It's a 14. Okay. 20, another D20. Yeah, okay.
So that's going to be two successes
Mhm.
because you don't have necessarily a focus specific for this.
Mhm. No.
Because you're using your tricorder, I will give you an extra die.
Okay.
So if you
Oh,
want to
then
roll
I
one more
will.
die.
I will do that. Oh, I've rolled a D12. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I will reroll. I rolled something that is a little bigger, and that is a failure. But
okay.
still
But
got two
two
successes.
successes. One of the things you'll realize is power, mechanicals, life support, like all of those kind of automated systems that are kind of, they're very much the background, the beating heart of the ship. Those are all still going in operation.
Mhm.
It's that the computer consoles to make significant changes and things like that that's it's down and locked. It means that any fix that you want to do to engines, to the flight path, to weapons, to anything like that is going to require like a hard, let's get our space wrenches in and work it to do that.
I mean, I like that, but I have one question. Can I tell if this is intentional or if this is some sort of damage that has been that the ship has sustained?
I don't think you have a good enough like
Okay.
perspective on what's happened here
Okay.
to make that
Okay.
consideration. Uh, Devel, what are you doing?
I think she's like, we've determined there were life signs, so she's got a tricorder out and she's trying to, you know, follow the life signs. Like, see if there's any, like, Varric, come with me. We've got to see if anyone's injured. Who knows how long they've been suffering under this radiation, unless maybe they thrive under this radiation. We don't know.
Um, let's have you make kind of gather information. The reason plus science.
Okay. All right, looking for a 14. And okay. That's a one success. Let me
What?
just, yeah, one success.
Okay. So I definitely think again scans are difficult in here.
Hmm.
Um,
A lot of
but you're
interference.
yeah, you're definitely getting a sense that there are life signs in different parts of the ship. Um, and maybe some life signs approaching. I think that's kind of the real basic of what you can get. Varric, what are you doing in this new novel location?
Um, I was really hoping we'd find some life signs because that's kind of what he does. I think I would like to look around, just look at the surroundings and try and use logic to glean what I can about the kinds of beings that might be on this ship and maybe even a little bit what happened here. So not using technology, but just using the powers of observation.
Uh, Insight plus science?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Insight plus science, that's 13. Oh, that's two
Two
successes.
successes.
Nice.
This feels like a very old ship. Uh, it feels like there's been some decay over time. Uh, and I think that you have enough kind of experience in this sort of thing to recognize that this might be a generation ship. Has been out in space for a long time. And uh, uh, it's still in good shape except for the damage to it. And of course the leakage, but yeah, they definitely get that sense. This is not a contemporary vessel.
I think uh, I'm going to say to the crew, say to my comrades, I'm going to go in search of people who might need my help. And I imagine us in a corridor, some sort of,
Yeah, you can head toward like it does seem like there is some kind of exit
yeah,
from here.
going to walk there. Not in any hurry, but just going to start walking.
I'm going to assume Devel is with you. We'll probably see Ward and Savari kind of working at the consoles, looking around at things. And I think Varric, as you kind of get to that door, you'll hear a wrenching sound, and you will see the door being pried open from the other side. And there are lights like shining in like flashlights because it's very dark in here. And these people will prise open the door and are looking in, and you will see that there are a group of four people there, humanoid. They have some uh, mostly hairless, except for one of them. They have very different colored skins. They are all in the NPC tab for the current episode. And the sort of leader with kind of aqua skin, kind of like as the others are like maybe a little bit freaking out that there are some people there. Uh, he will go, oh, I, and it takes a moment for the universal translator to kind of catch up, and he'll say, I am sorry. Uh, uh, is everyone aboard your vessel all right?
None of us are injured, significantly injured.
I was hurt. No.
Um, we are here to offer aid.
Oh, blessings of the Maker. Uh, uh, we are we are in a difficult situation. I am Ray Raden. I am the leader of this Gakarn vessel. Um, uh,
It seems you've been in space for quite some time.
yes and no. And he's about to say something else, and you will see one of the other four is like, this is a very bad idea. Very bad idea. We should no, we don't want their help. Let them leave, get them out of here. We don't want them. We don't want them on here. And the blue one will hold up his hand. He will say, uh, we have I do not know how to say this. Um, our people have been on here for a very long time, and we have forgotten. We we have lost how to fix the ship, how to operate the ship over the generations. Uh, we have tried our best, but we know we've seen that we the tractor beam was a distress call, a rescue call, because the ship is headed for a nearby sun, and we don't know how to turn it away from that.
Well, you can rest assured we will do our best to help save your lives.
And the blue skin one and two of them will look like they're like, okay, this is great, this relief. The fourth one, that's Val Vogar in the NPC tab, definitely does not look happy, and particularly gives you an like a darting look when you say that, Devel.
I will interject. We're not asking for any recompensation or anything. We just want help. Seriously. You
Oh,
don't have to give us anything for that.
oh, thank you, thank you. We should. Why don't we go to the bridge, and then maybe we can figure out how we can have you help us. You can tell us what's wrong, and
Mhm.
maybe you can fix it for us, and maybe show us how to fix it again in the
Mhm.
future if it breaks down again. Uh, that would help.
Uh, Tell us, how were you able to activate the tractor beam if you've
It,
lost control?
it seemed to have been a automated system to draw in to call for help. Uh, it's and he will stop and he will say, I I I don't pretend to understand. I am sorry.
Do you have manuals or something like that?
Once upon a time we did. They were in the computers, but the computers, they do not work anymore.
Okay.
And we will cut to essentially moving through some darkened halls, We get a couple of montage shots of that. The power kind of it does that classic. You walk into the hallway and the power comes on in that hallway, moving along up to the bridge of this place. And again, there are consoles and things, and they are black, they are locked down. Um, and there are a handful more of these Gakarin there. Um, and they will bring you to that spot. Um, rather than rolling, I'm going to tell you what the problems are here, just so you know, so we can get these established. So it does look to you like you have to figure out how long it's going to be, but this vessel is being drawn in towards a solar body. If it gets too close, you're not going to be able to pull it out of the gravity well, given the damage to the ship. Uh, it seems like uh, the and it will say this, these are the problems. There's something wrong with the engines. They're too hot, they say. Uh, we don't have control over the flying place, the steering. Uh, uh, some of us are getting sick. We're not sure why that is. And as well, uh, the place where we grow the plants is unwell. And so Ward, I think we'll get that moment where they're kind of like at consoles, like pretending like they know what they're doing, kind of moving things around and kind of watching you do stuff so that you have a chance to kind of talk to your crew about how you want to deal with this.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of these are pretty much no-brainers. Deval, I can see you rushing towards the hydroponics already. If
I
that's what they
was
are,
presumably
um, have fun.
Commander.
But before we go to save the ship, maybe I don't know if we can. Shouldn't we consider evacuation? Getting a message through the Starfleet to
And one
get
of them
people out here.
the Ray Redan, the leader of this, as you said, will say, um, we we can't evacuate the ship. There are many of our people
Okay.
in
Oh,
stasis.
oh,
They are locked away. We cannot get to
mm,
them now, but we
okay.
cannot just leave them.
Okay. That makes that easy. Thank you.
Okay. Um, Mr. Varek, whatever this sickness is, perhaps you can investigate, but also restoring access to the stasis systems would seem like a good thing to solve.
I'll investigate those. Yes.
Okay. Lieutenant Savari, I guess if the engines are running too hot, uh, let's
Yeah.
see if we can solve that.
Yeah, and also we should get the computers back online, because that will give us a lot of hints about what we actually should do if they have the manuals in there, right?
Plus, if we
Yeah,
can raise
maybe.
communications, we could call out the nearest vessel to hopefully tractor this beam away from the
Mm,
sun if
Mhm.
we need to.
yeah. Yes.
I'll ask Ray. When you say the engines are running too hot, do you have an idea whether we are in critical danger, immediate danger, or do we have some time?
They're quite hot. They've been hot for a while, so as captain, I theorize that it will be a while before there's a serious problem. And I think then one of the others, the greenskin one, Gelgatak, will say, uh, I have been to the hot room, to the engine room. Uh, it does not seem to me that it's an immediate problem, but it is a problem. I will go if you have an engineering person, I will take them there. Uh, there's damage to the ship, so we have to take a roundabout way, well, to get there.
Do you have
Okay.
vents?
We do. You do. They
Conduits?
are right now. They are filled with some dangerous gas and
Okay.
such, but we will go through the middle of the ship.
Okay.
We'll have to pass through hydroponics to get there.
Well, Savari, why don't you make sure we're not about to imminently explode?
Yes,
And
that seems
I
like
will
a good idea.
see perhaps if I can figure out general controls,
Mhm.
access to the computer systems, and with a view to establishing some flight control over this hull.
Okay.
And uh, the one who was very suspicious of all of you will kind of will say, I will go with you to hydroponics. Clearly, not happy with this whole situation, but he's going to follow along. So, Devel and Savari, you can head off towards that way with Gel and Val. Uh, the captain will say, uh, turn to you, Doctor, and will say, our medical bay, our medical lab was destroyed, um, but uh, Sayer can take you to where some of the people are resting in their illness in the bunks. And she will turn to you and she will say, I will take you there.
Thank you.
Um, and I think maybe we our communicators working on
Absolutely. Your
board.
comms badge are
Okay.
working right now in this close proximity. I may spend
Yeah.
a threat later to make them not work, but right now they are.
Well, I will make sure everyone knows to check in at regular intervals. And maybe I also double check with people that they have their phaser. I'm not sure whether Mr. Varric will deign to take one, but yeah.
And Radon will help you here on the bridge looking at the flight controls. So we'll kind of split up in those different directions. Let's take our first break. We'll take 10, and then we will come back to the different parts of the ship. So, Ward, what do we see you doing here? Raiden is kind of they're about your height, but they're kind of lurking a little bit behind you, trying to see what you're doing, not wanting to interfere, but clearly wanting to keep an eye on you, kind of thing.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out the helm of this thing. Maybe because I'm so familiar with these normally, if I can learn this, maybe I can use that as a wedge into getting the computer system open, or at least learning a little bit about the rest of the computer systems. But I'm happy to make some small talk. So maybe I say, have you recently woken up, or have you been awake for quite some time?
Uh, we were not we were not frozen. We are not frozen. We are clones.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
over time, things have decayed, and as we were all growing up, things were not in great shape.
it's a very tough situation to find yourself in.
It is difficult. I appreciate your sympathy. Where are you from? I guess I should ask
Uh,
that, right?
yeah, we're all members of the Federation, uh, which is a a group of planets and species who find common cause amongst the stars. Uh, I am human. Um, I guess my people originally come from Earth, but I grew up on a starbase.
Oh, wondrous. We are from Kakarn.
Well, I know exactly where that is, just like you have no idea where Earth
Oh,
is.
fair
So
enough. Fair
we're
enough.
we're no, but we're on common ground. Um, uh, but you've never set foot on this planet? It's so long ago, or you grew up there?
I am a clone. I was cloned on board.
Okay, yeah. And how long have you how long has this flight, this voyage been taking place?
And you see him pause, and he will say, "The clocks are down. It has been a while since I was born, and there were many of me before me. So a
You don't
while.
retain you don't retain those people's memories.
No,
You're
no,
your
that
own
would be
individual.
great. Then I'd know how to
Yes.
operate things. It would be wonderful. But no, we are we are a fallen people, have lost the things that made us wondrous to be able to build such a ship and have it operate.
Well, let's see if we can get you back on your feet.
Do you want to roll for interacting with him? Do you want to roll for doing the mechanical things, for looking at how the ship works? What do you want?
Um, I mean, I think I'm trying to like um, I think I'm really just trying to figure out the helm.
Okay.
Um,
Then
uh,
I think we're going to do this as reason plus engineering, but with your helm operations as a
okay,
focus.
okay. So there's 12-3. Yeah. Difficulty 2, I presume.
Yep,
Okay. So let's roll that.
look at that.
So it's three
Three
successes.
successes. So I think you can definitely like uh, come to understand that there are some like hardwired bits here that sort of in combination with your tricorder, you can get something rigged up to, assuming that the engines are working, to get it to do some piloting, do some thrust and reactive stuff. Um, and like you can get that. The computers are locked out, but there are workarounds for that. Um,
Um, I'll put one into the momentum pool, and maybe I'll check in with Savari to say, if you think it's okay, maybe I'll ease the engines back, help with the heating, and also maybe use that as a slight deviation of path so we're not heading directly for the heart of a star.
okay. Uh, we'll come across to that in a moment. Uh, Varric, this person will take you further on into the ship down a set of corridors. Um, Again, lights coming on ahead of you, and uh, it takes longer than you would like. It takes longer than you would care for you to get to these patients that you have. Um, and we'll bring you into a room that has been cleared, and there are kind of makeshift beds here. Uh, like clearly these were not the bunk areas of this place. These are makeshift, and there are about a half dozen of these Gakarns who are clearly ill. They don't look well. Their skin is more pallid compared to the others. They're perspiring. They just look kind of exhausted and sick.
Um, on the way, um, I think I had asked Cersei some questions like, does anyone have any medical training, or was that skill also lost?
The the doctors are gone. They were lost. There were no and there was no training on that beyond first aid
And
training.
is everyone on the ship now a clone?
Yes, yes, we are all clones.
And who is in stasis?
They are the old ones, the originators.
And are any of those folks still alive?
They are in stasis.
Okay. Uh, why don't we start with those of you who are sick?
Okay.
Why why was the medical facility moved so far away from everything?
The medical bay was destroyed.
Well,
It
your
was
temporary
destroyed.
medical quarters. Why
There
were
was a medical quarters. It was destroyed.
and you've set up a temporary one.
Yes.
Why is it so far away from everything?
Uh, People are sick. We don't want to get other people sick.
That sounds reasonable.
Yes. Good.
Let's see. I think when we get there, I um I call Ward just
Okay.
to make sure that my comms still work this far
Okay.
away.
Yes. You are still within comms range.
Okay. It's like, hey, just letting you know, we made it to the temporary sick bay. Everything's fine. Um, so I immediately start scanning these folks, assuming it's radiation poisoning.
Okay. Let me have you make a medicine plus reason roll. And you may definitely use your internal medicine as your focus here, or yeah, internal medicines.
Okay. Just for my
So
list.
15/4. So that is 3 successes.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not radiation poisoning. Uh, there is, and you kind of detect this. There's something in the atmosphere, in the air. Uh, you're not sure if it's a leakage or what, but there are some off gases in the environment, and it seems like some of these people, maybe people who've been more exposed to it or are weaker, uh, you know, are the ones who have been suffering the most from this. Um, they did mention that the like whatever their Jeffries tubes were are kind of locked off because of some weird gas, but you're not sure if that's the same thing or what. So yeah, I think that you can pretty easily determine. You've got 2 momentum if you want to spend those to obtain information or put momentum in the pool.
Oh, that's a good question. Does this thing in the atmosphere pose an immediate threat to us, the
No,
crew?
no, it does not. It's clearly a slow kind of long-term build-up thing. It kind of builds up in the blood, uh, causes that kind of problem.
Um, I would like to look for a cure.
I think that's easy enough for you to do. Like, I don't even think that's a role. I think that
Oh,
is
okay.
med. I think that first success med tech is like you're going to essentially need to hypospray to up their blood oxygen level and help them out with that. And there's going to have to be a long-term solution for it, but in the short term, you can help all these people.
Okay. Um, I hand a hypospray to Cersei and I say, "Have you ever seen one of these before?"
She takes it in her hand like she knows what she's doing, and she will say no.
Well, let me show you how to use it. And we administer the cure to the
Okay,
people here.
absolutely. You've got 1 momentum left. You can ask a question or put it in the pool.
I'm gonna bank that. I think
Okay,
it was, yeah, I'm gonna bank that.
absolutely.
I sense my colleagues might need it.
Uh, Devel, Savari, You are walking along with Gel and Val. Uh, uh, Definitely some tension between the two of them. Uh, 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 you know, and you definitely have the sense that Gel would rather not be around Val, and her attitude right now. Um, but they will move kind of cautiously through the ship. Uh, at one point, Gel will say, "Sometimes there are places that are broken, so we have to be careful because they're kind of dangerous to move over." Uh, and like kind of as he says that, you will come to a corridor and you can see that uh, one of the doors, like the bulkhead to the next area, uh, is sort of halfway closed, and there's kind of a crackle of electricity or some kind of power line through it, and you will see him go, "Oh, it's another one of these."
We can bridge that, right? With a with messing around with a tricorder. I think we can create something that will um neutralize that the thing that you do with when lightning strikes a building and that sends the power
Oh,
to
you want to
your.
ground it? Okay, yeah,
Yes, I want to
absolutely,
ground it. That's sorry.
absolutely. I think
Certainly.
that'll be difficulty two. I think that's an
Mhm.
engineering task for
Yeah.
you, Savari.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Absolutely. So engineering plus reason, and you can roll a die, Devel, and
Sure.
Savari, you can roll two dice.
Is that power systems? No.
That's and I don't think this is power systems. I think it
Okay.
is a little bit different, but
Okay. Fair. Let's see if it goes. Well, I've got one success.
two successes because that one is a critical. So
Oh,
that's
I see. I see.
two
Nice.
successes,
Okay.
and then
Cool.
Devel, you can roll
One success.
one success. So Savari, you can get this grounded, kind of get that turned down, and then carefully, open up this bulkhead here, get it opened
Mhm.
so that you can proceed forward. You've got one
Mhm.
momentum, which you can put in the pool, or you can ask a question.
I think we can put it in the pool for now. I don't think I have a lot
Okay,
of questions.
absolutely. So I'll pick that up to three. Do that. Uh, and the pair of you will continue on until you come to a big area. And Devel, I imagine your eyes twinkle as you come into this. There are essentially grow lights across the ceiling in here. There are some raised beds that are kind of suspended. And then there's like a big, uh, field that is planted with various kinds of plants that do not look like they are doing particularly well.
Oh, it's heartbreaking, Savari.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm
Uh, and
yeah.
I think Gal at that point kind of takes advantage of this moment and says, well, Val will stay with you, Dr. DeVal. We'll turn to you, Savari, and we'll say, come with me and we will head to the engines, okay?
Okay. And which one of those was the suspicious one?
Val is the one that's suspicious that is staying with
Okay.
DeVal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm looking to Devel and just to make sure she's
Yeah. You know,
mm,
we'll
okay.
keep in contact, Savari.
Yes. Yes.
Let me know if you
Absolutely.
need any help.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Same. Same.
And I think at this point is probably when Ward would have contacted you, Savari, and
Mhm.
tell you kind of like this is what he wants to do when you have a chance to check out the engines and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Does that seem
We're
reasonable?
Yeah, seems reasonable at time. Still on our way. We haven't made it yet.
So you will head around kind of one of these walkways across, heading down towards the engines, and Val will kind of look at you and just kind of cross her arms and
It's Val Vogar, correct?
that it is my name. That is why I'm called.
All right. You seem
You
very.
are Devel.
That's correct. Thank you. Uh, do you often work in the hydroponics section?
I have worked in the hydroponic section before, yes.
All right. Well, perhaps you would like to show me around. I mean, we are guests on your ship after all.
That is right, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. So I'm trying
Uh,
to. I guess I'm trying to. I don't know. Figure a way to use etiquette to try to like,
I
hey,
like it. Yeah, they're trying to
break through
build
the
a
ice.
rapport here.
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
So, President's command, I guess.
yeah, I like it.
Okay. All right.
What's some of your
14 and
strengths?
yeah. Well, that's one success.
One success. She is she is not happy to have you here.
Yeah, obviously.
And I think that continually bounces off. Like there's something going on with her and with this that you're like, okay, I don't know what there's information I don't have here,
hmm
or something has happened in the past, or whatnot. But this is not getting me anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but she will take you down to some of the seed bays and the like the watering things. There is, it's a pretty well put together, automated kind of hydroponics system. Uh, why don't you make a science plus reason roll with your botany?
Okay. All right. That's yeah. 14, 10 or less is uh the crit thing.
Absolutely.
That one's
Two successes.
yep.
Do you want to spend one of your rerolls on that 17?
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess. I love plants.
I know you do. That's why I'm going to make you spend those resources.
Ah, hurtful. Not
That
worth
was
it.
really hurtful.
Just
Uh,
one off. Why couldn't it be insight and science?
uh, so it looks like uh, there are
No
like the
sugar.
major problem is apparently that the hydroponics was shut off for a while
Mm-hmm.
and then was turned back on. Uh, and like that meant there was a long period where these things were not irrigated, not lit, not watered, all of that kind of thing.
Oh.
Um, and it does seem like maybe there are some ways to compensate. There are some maybe fertilizer systems or something like that. There are, dispensers that have that you might be able to use to assist that. Um, and
Yeah.
I'll give you one momentum to ask a question or uh, bank that or
Um,
increased effect.
I think I'll am I use do I get all right, I guess this is the question.
So your first thing
Yeah.
was a question, so this will be your second question.
What was the first thing?
I was telling you what was going on with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here I'm being generous to you, my friend.
All right. I was just gonna ask, was I using the tricorder and do I get the bonus obtain information question from
Yes, you
that?
get the bonus obtain information
Okay.
question.
Okay. So then is this a situation with the roots? Like, do I need to check down in the swamp and like the deck below where, all the roots grow down?
No, it definitely seems to be like literally uh you need to compensate for the fact that they had the
It was
hydroponic
off
system
for like a
out.
month or whatever.
Yeah, like
Okay.
a while. It was a dumb, stupid thing.
Okay. All right. Then I'm not gonna ask a follow-up question.
Okay.
So
Uh,
I will get to work. I'm like, all right, what can we do?
Okay. So you working on that, getting it set. Uh, you see her moves around. She's keeping an eye on you. She's keeping an eye around here. That kind of thing.
Hmm.
Uh, Sivari,
Yeah.
you and Gelga will move down towards the engines. Uh,
Can I ask her what exactly happened? Does she know that?
he, for him,
Oh, okay.
no, this guy, he says, um, it's been this way for a long time.
Okay. Okay, because the chip has seen some damage. I thought it
Yes.
might have been some, wasn't an outside influence. It was just like,
Uh, we were hit by some
uh,
micrometeor strikes,
okay. Okay.
and that's happened a couple of times, and
Hmm.
that has caused the outside damage. That may have maybe part of the reason why the engines are
Hmm.
damaged.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So, so is there any part of the engine room that has is connected to the Hulk? Like there,
uh, uh, say, well, it may be. I do not. It kind of say, I maybe. He says in a
okay.
way that says, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but he will move you along there.
Yes. Yeah.
He's definitely like the closer you get to the engine room, the more sort of like he's clearly gets a little bit more nervous. And the temperature definitely goes up as you get there, and you will get down into this engine room, and
Mhm.
you have to pull open the door, and you can see it's really striking. There's a beautiful kind of, they're not using the lithium crystals, but it is definitely some kind of crystal pillar that kind of seems to be at the heart of the engine. Uh, Again, whatever computer systems are present are down. Everything's kind of the hard wired on that. You can see there's some damage in here. Uh, and he will say, this is the engine room.
Yeah. That poor thing.
Yes, yes. It's a little warm in here, though.
Yes, it is. Whew. Well, I mean, on my planet, when we had guests from Cardassia, we pulled up our heating and it was like this. So,
Oh, they don't like
um,
heat?
they do. They love heat.
Oh, they love heat. Okay.
Yeah, we were. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Anyway, so let's see what we can do with this thing.
So this is probably an extended task that's going to
Hmm.
begin with you making a roll and
Yeah.
also realizing that your comms to the captain are out at this point.
Oh, okay. In which
Like
case,
you've
I
clearly
will.
hit the point at which you're far enough away and the radiation
Mhm.
is significant enough that you realize that you can't contact the bridge anymore.
Okay, then I will turn to my companion and say, you really can't help here, right? You don't know how this works.
I know.
Okay, that is not a problem right now because I will take my badge, take this, get back this way, and see if you can get a signal. See if you can tell my friend, my commander Ward, that I'm here in the engine room, that I'm at work.
Okay. I'm not sure I should leave you alone.
This is an engine room. I know how to do this.
You see him hesitate significantly. And then he looks down at your combat and he's like, okay, okay, I can do this.
Okay, thank you. I won't break anything, I promise.
And he will he will head back. So
More than it's already broken, at least.
so let's have you start this task here.
Okay.
Engineering.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think at this point, control.
Okay, that's one good 15. And this is power systems, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I roll 2 dice, right?
Yep.
Does my tricorder give me an extra die because
It
of
will give
that
you an
die?
extra die. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So let's roll. Come on. Okay, so that's 2 successes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is 2 successes. So you will start to work on this engine. Uh, you can tell that like it has some form of warp, but
Mhm.
that's down. The computer system being out has clearly locked that down.
Mhm.
So it's about fixing this engine, which has taken some damage.
Yeah.
There's some cracks and breaks
Mm.
here that you're starting to repair.
Yeah, priority is on stabilizing the warp core, and then I'll see what I can do about the computer system.
Okay. Let me cut back to Lieutenant Ward.
Mhm.
Um, Ward, you're there. I think you do that check-in with DeVal and that check-in with Varric. Varric seems maybe a little short-tempered at this point. Uh, 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 but when you hail Savari, you will not get any reply.
Well, I'll nod like this is something I was expecting. Um, and maybe I'll say to or Captain Rayra, um, hmm, it looks like we cannot contact the engine room right now on our communications. Do you think are there any crew members of yours we could use as a runner?
Sure, I could get somebody to run a message down to there. Uh, let me get someone.
I'm curious. How long do you, I mean, time is a difficult question, obviously, but how long do you expect your journey to take?
We don't know. Certainly, the computer should be telling us, right?
Well, I guess that's our next challenge. Let's get these computers up and running.
Yes, that's very important. We should get those up and running. Absolutely.
Um, and I guess we have some of the uh, I guess the tricorder maybe with this hard wiring that we've used for the flight controls. Maybe we
Hmm.
can do something similar. And I think again it'll be like trying to do something complicated and just a bit of patter with Rayra, and it'll be. And what happens to you and your crewmates when you arrive at the destination?
Uh, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I assume it'd be glorious, right? It'll be great. This is where we're supposed to be going.
Hmm. And you're clones of the people in stasis, or just clones
Uh,
of?
uh, yeah, I assume so,
Uh,
right? That's the
um,
story that makes sense, right? Like that we would be clones of the people in stasis.
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, once we get access to the computer, maybe these are questions that will be answered.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I guess getting under the hood of this computer.
Okay.
Um,
Let's
I don't
have
know if
you
this is.
make a an engineering uh plus insight roll.
Um, I don't think there are any focuses that apply, but I wonder if I am. I wonder if I could tag a value to spend a determination.
Absolutely. What value are you spending?
I mean, Rebels and Challenge is obvious, but maybe too obvious. I wonder if like, my conversation with Rayra is like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Absolutely.
And I hope it's not as dark as where my imagination is taking me.
I think
And
that's
maybe I'm
perfectly
like,
fair.
yeah. So I think the independence and self-reliance is like, am I able to do something for this guy?
Sure.
To give him some information that might be helpful for him.
Roll those 2d20.
Uh, okay, so the two shiny new dice. Let's see. So it's two from the one and two from the determination.
You got four successes. So I'm going to take two momentum and then you'll have two more to ask. Um, the computer isn't broken. Too many login attempts. It literally is someone has tried to get into the computer too many times and has fucked up the password or the entry protocols or whatever, and it is locked that way. And it's that's the issue. Follow up?
Um, there's a post-it note under the keyboard, right? Um, yeah, I guess I wonder if there's something I can do to circumvent that, or
That is a big thing. Like it's clearly like security locked out, lockdown kind of thing. Um, it it looks like, I mean, the workarounds that they've done and that you've done certainly get around that computer stuff to get the basics up and running.
Mhm. um, yeah, I guess then the question is, could I set up kind of an extended task to find some other key to get through this login?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I think
maybe,
that
yeah.
seems fine. Like we'll take that the last of your momentum to like set up the fictional positioning for that task. Uh, Varric, can you please roll for me uh uh fitness plus command?
That's 11. You specifically chose the two worst ones.
Yes.
I squeaked one out.
Okay. Uh, so you have the trait irritated right now.
That may be true. However, because I'm a Vulcan, I have when I gain a trait which represents a mood or emotional state, you may suppress that trait, ignoring its effect for the duration of a single task or a single turn in combat by suffering one stress. Okay, so I've
So,
got it.
well, so mark that stress, and you will realize, I think, like, what does that look like when you realize that something is affecting you?
Something is a something.
Like you
Oh,
start getting that irritation. You're a Vulcan. As soon as you recognize that like a mood pops up that you don't have any control
it's
over.
flashbacks to my childhood when I'm sort of feeling like helpless or subjected to bullying or something like that. Like I kind of have these intrusive thoughts, let's say, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
wait a minute, something's really bothering me here.
Yeah. So what do you do when that happens?
Um, well, what in particular are you suggesting set me off besides the
You
fact that
don't know. Like
oh
like
oh I see
and but I mean your immediate thought is okay, maybe it's the atmospheric stuff, but that no,
right
that wouldn't have caused that. Like you know
right
enough to know that's not something else is happening here.
um and I remember that I'm bothered by stupid people. And I'm starting to feel like this was such an easy thing to catch. Like the tricorder basically was shouting at me before I even did anything. That I'm starting to think that these people are stupid. So I um like um like they're going out of their way to be stupid. So I start uh I'm actually genuinely curious. Um, and so I ask the person with me, Sarah, is that their name? What? So if you're clones, who created you? We're the
Uh,
people that created you.
the 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 people who originally, the people that were frozen in the stasis, they are the originators.
And so they created you and then froze themselves again?
No, there's a clone machine.
And so they expected you to just emerge from the clone
There
machine.
would be other clones, and we would learn from those clones. But we have forgotten so much over time.
You had mentioned that maybe there were some problems with the stasis machines. May I take a look at those now?
No, that is a very important place, so it is locked off.
I'm going to have to insist that I take a look at these stasis machines just to make sure that you are able to complete your journey.
Uh, what maybe once the engines are up and running and things are fixed, but no, we cannot can't allow you there. Do you want to try? Do you want to do something by force? Do you want to try and read her? What do you want to do?
Yeah, Varric's not doing anything by, or is he? Um,
You have xenopsychology, so probably your best bet is to use insight and medicine
yeah,
to.
let me do that. I might also um, say that she is starting to exhibit signs of this sickness, and I need to treat her for it.
Okay.
And that treatment involves maybe a medication that will make her more pliable, easier to convince to do something.
Well, let's see here. Let's have you make that insight
Insight,
plus medicine roll. Xenopsychology is
in effect.
in effect. So that is four successes.
That's all the successes.
That is all the successes. So I'm going to tell you one
These
thing.
are very stupid
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
obviously.
Uh, I'm going to tell you one thing for free.
Okay.
Basically, got the one, and then I'm going to give you three follow-ups here. You realize now that you kind of are doing the medical scan and stuff that what is bothering you is that there is a sound just outside of human frequency, of other frequency, that is at a kind of a low level, like white noise sound, that because of your Vulcan hearing, you've been picking up the whole time you're on the
Mm,
ship. You don't think anybody else is hearing it, but it's that kind of low drone thing that has been getting under your skin.
Dan can relate. Yes.
Okay. You've got three questions, three momentum. You could
Uh,
also establish a trait of dozing on her with two of that.
um, I guess I'd like to figure out kind of the source of this atmospheric thing, this contagion in the atmosphere. So,
Okay. I think that you will kind of are checking or scanning and something is pumping it into the system. It's not a leakage. Something somewhere is pumping that in.
um,
Two momentum left.
I'm going to tell her that we need to figure out where the contagion is coming from. So I'm going to use my tricorder to help me locate it. You can stay here and monitor these folks, or you're welcome to join me.
I will come with you.
I had a feeling you would say that. Um, and I'm going to try and figure out where it's being pumped in
Okay.
from.
So that's another momentum on that. You've got one left. You will come out, you're kind of going around, and you will come to a hallway junction, and you will realize that they must have like the equivalent of above Jeffrey's tubes kind of things. And there's clearly like some kind of device up there that is pumping this stuff into the atmosphere.
It's been patched in, basically.
Yes.
I ask her, "Do you know where this device came from?"
No.
I'm going to need to get my colleagues here to examine this with me. I'm just a doctor. I'm not an engineer. Damn it. So I'm going to need my colleagues to.
She will hesitate. You've got the hatch open above.
Right.
You've kind of gone up and looked up into it, and then she's kind of gone up and looked into it. And you say that. You're expecting her to say something to you as you kind of turn and you'll hear, oh, and you turn around and she's not there anymore.
I was getting all set to do a Vulcan nerve pinch on her if she was not cooperating.
There's a
I,
sound like something running along the
oh
tube
God.
above you of something being dragged away.
I call Ward.
Okay.
Um, Lieutenant Commander Ward, we appear to have a situation here.
Mr. Vark, a situation that's terribly vague. Could you provide some more details?
Uh,
Are you all right? That seems terribly vague for a Vulcan.
I am puzzled. Uh, I'm puzzled, Lieutenant Ward. It appears as if that the crew of this ship is being slowly poisoned, deliberately, and my companion has been whisked away.
Those are two separate worrying things.
They are related in that the whisking away happened right where the poisoning was happening.
Okay. Um, I bet you wish you had a phaser now, huh?
Lieutenant Ward, if I had a phaser, I imagine I would just be making this situation worse.
Um, okay. Um,
I would
I'll
like
be
to.
down to you shortly.
That is wise. Otherwise, I was going to investigate this myself, and I don't think anyone wants that.
And I'm going to cut away from you two. I'm going to come back to Devell. Devell, uh, what are you doing here? What are you working on?
I think she's like getting right in the muck of things, like, ruining up this nice dress uniform because she does not care because this is, work, obviously.
Okay.
But she's still trying to communicate with the other one, like, all right. But I think I'm gonna give you a threat
Okay.
to ask to use my never at face value thing as, like, appears like,
Yeah.
I look like I'm just doing my job, but I'm like, hey, what here's n not what it appears to be. That's the question I'm asking.
Boy, this is the dumbest selection of plants you've ever seen for hydroponics. Like you're looking through them, you're looking at the stuff that's here and stuff, like you're kind of going through, and about half of what's being grown here is toxic. Like it's definitely doing some of the kind of atmosphere cleaning. They know it's doing the kind of, atmosphere CO2 to oxygen stuff like classic plants. But a lot of this stuff, you just shouldn't be growing it. For
Hmm.
it, that if you ate it, if the Gakaran ate it, it would make them tremendously sick.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So let's see, I gotta look up her name again. Val, you've come down here from time to time, you said?
Yes, yes, yes.
What's your favorite plant here? Like, what's like the one that like really just draws you in? I mean, there's just so many. I mean, I haven't even seen some of these breeds before. She says lying under
Uh,
her teeth, but you know.
uh, she'll point to one of the plants that, you know, is would be a violent, a burning kind of thing if you were to actually chew or eat it.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Oh, okay. All right. Should we take clippings? I mean, you know.
You should finish whatever you're doing with the hydroponics stuff to get it back up and running.
Well, it seems to be currently operating.
Oh, good, good. Then we can,
It's just been apparently it was off for a while.
as again, these are the things we've lost so much of our knowledge. When these things, we only discovered that it was not working, we were able to turn it back on, but with so much time had passed.
How do I want to read try and get a
Well,
read off of it?
insight,
Yeah,
insight
insight.
is yeah,
Is it insight?
plus command.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't think any of my values help. Do I have any talents? No. I'm such a nerd.
Want to spend a momentum?
You know what? I will.
Okay.
I will. I'll give you a threat and spend a momentum. How do you like that? Lol.
Oh, so do you want
No,
to give
no,
me
I
a
gave you the
threat?
threat earlier.
Yeah, you gave me a
That's
threat
what I
earlier.
meant.
So just spend a momentum.
Yeah.
3 dice.
That's a pretty good roll.
That's a pretty good roll. That's 4 successes.
Yeah.
Um, so what's your first question?
All right. What's she hiding?
Well, she knows you're in Orion. She doesn't like that.
Mm, okay. So they're not as dumb as they appear to be.
Right.
All
What's
right.
your second question? Do you want to
Um,
ask that again? It'd probably be the weapon that she's been concealing and has been holding on and waiting to potentially use on you.
right. Can I get the
2 more
drop on her
momentum.
first?
Uh, yes, you can.
All
That'll be
right.
the third question.
All right. Then I
What's your
shall try
last
to do
question?
pew pew.
Okay. Then let's have you make that daring plus security roll for me here.
Isn't it control with when it's ranged?
Oh, it's yeah, control.
All right.
We'll spend that last momentum to buy you an extra die six, so please roll 3d6 for this.
Wait, what?
So there was one momentum you hadn't spent on that action. I'll let you throw that over to give yourself an extra d20. So you can roll
Okay, you said
3d20.
six and I got very confused. Did I?
So roll 3d20.
Okay. No, that's two
Not your
successes.
focus, but 2 successes. And I think that is that thing where you're just talking and the phaser one is up and she turns and she starts to do that fast draw and doof, and you will hit her and you will drop her to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that she's got a Klingon disruptor.
Oh, okay.
Looks shitty, sort of secondhand, but it's definitely a Klingon disruptor.
All right.
Uh, let's come to Savari. You're working on the engines,
Yep,
right?
yep.
You
Yes, and
are
I don't suspect the same thing because these are engines are messed up.
you are working on the engines,
Yeah,
and then you're pretty attuned to the sound of the engine room, to the sound of things, working on that.
yeah.
Uh, and you will hear an odd sound move through the engine room.
Oh,
Like not an engine sound, not a sound for what you've been working on. And I think you kind of freeze there for a moment. What do you do?
um, an odd sound. So okay, I think I'm reacting mainly on instinct because I've been in engine rooms and messing about, and I'm not messing about, but and didn't want to be seen. So I will instinctively go and hide myself a little and see what's going on before, but from a
Absolutely.
position where I am not exposed.
Please roll control plus security.
Okay. Control is not that bad. Security is not. This is 13. Um, Sabotage is probably not applying, right?
Correct.
Okay. No. There's a 2 and a 13, so
So
that's two
two
successes, right?
successes. So you will duck behind one of the consoles
Mhm.
and you will see something unpeel itself from the
Oh,
ceiling and drop down into the room.
uh-huh.
It is there on the NPC tab, there in the second row, and
Oh,
it it's about human sized, and it is moving around and
okay.
hunting and looking in here. And Dan, I think that's the point. You've just talked to Ward, and I think you turn back around to maybe go ahead where you're doing. And I think that's when we see this insect thing reach down and snatch you up off the ground and up into the tubes.
Mm.
And that's where we'll take our second break so we can have Mr. Varick avenged. Does that seem reasonable, Dan? We'll come back with Savari in the middle of this and then do our around on that. Sound good?
I'm gonna fly, guys.
Okay,
Nice to meet
take it
all.
easy.
Take care. Bye.
So
Bye.
yeah, take five and we'll be back. Okay. So Savari, you are in the engine room. You've kind of hidden back yourself away. We'll figure out exactly how you've hidden. This thing has dropped down. The person that you came with, Galga, he's not here. He's gone. And this thing is definitely between you and the exit to the engine room. What do you want to do?
Does it see me?
Not yet. No, you rolled pretty well.
Okay. In which case, I will do the Starfleet thing. I will get out of hiding because I'm Starfleet. I'm not a pirate or something. And I'm not a resistance fighter. So I will say, hello there.
And it will turn and it will move right at you. What do you do?
Um, okay. I mean, I am Starfleet, but I'm not naive. I have my phaser at my side, so I will step back and say, I'll shoot you, and then I'll shoot it because I mean it's fast, right?
Yeah. Uh,
And it's set to stun, of course.
Absolutely. So let's have you roll control plus security.
Okay. It's 14. Yep.
Uh, 13, right? Yeah.
14. Control plus no 13, you're right. Okay. Basic math. It's not. It's one success.
One success. So you will miss.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to get up.
Um,
And after that phaser fire goes off, now you have a choice. There is
mm-hmm.
one way you can fix this. You do have a point of
Mm-hmm.
determination.
Yeah.
You can spend that side of
Mm-hmm.
value and re-roll uh, the missed die if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fortune favors the bold because it is pretty bold. This did not seem very friendly, but
Absolutely.
So
Uh,
I spent that, and then I can do what now?
you can
Reroll one die.
re-roll that D20 that you missed on. And if you can make
Okay,
it, that'll be two that will hit it.
cool. Yep.
So that will hit it and that will slam into it. The the stun doesn't like seem to like knock it out, but it will like stagger backwards. Uh, and you can see its mouth opening and clicking and stuff. And it doesn't fly, but it leaps up onto some of like one of the engineering columns here and starts climbing up towards what now you realize it clearly came out of some kind of vent there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did that seem like language or more like the snarl of an animal?
It wasn't making it wasn't making any sound. Like
Okay.
it was doing this thing like it ought to be
Mm-hmm.
talking,
Yeah.
but you weren't hearing anything.
Well, that's just maybe just my perceptions. Could be the frequency. But did it try to communicate, or was this more like something like
Okay, I
that?
think that is
Yeah,
insight plus
yeah.
science.
I was afraid. Oh, science is not that bad. Inside is, well, you know, I'm an engineer, not a psychologist, to quote our doctor. Obviously, I'm a very insightful engineer.
Um, it was it was clearly like it was trying to get at you and to get that weapon away from you. Uh, and yeah, it wasn't making any sound, but it was maybe it was talking,
Mhm.
just that like you couldn't hear it. Your universal translator couldn't, well, you don't have your badge with you. Uh, 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 couldn't pick it up. Um, uh, so yeah, it definitely there's something weird about that. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Yeah, yeah. Now I really want to get into those tubes and follow it, but however, are on the ship, and there's something weird going on, but these engines need fixing. No matter
Absolutely.
what, these engines need fixing. So I am, well, I'll go and find something that will let me get some kind of distress call or something out to Ward, so that he knows that I'm in trouble.
Okay, we'll come back to you
Huh?
on that. Uh, Duvel.
Yes, I'd like to hit my communicator to try to reach Ward.
Well, I'm going to spend two threat right now
Of course, of course.
because I think you're
I,
like, okay. And that is when uh Gelga, who came back to the hydroponics because now he has Savari's communicator and was going to go and talk to his pal, sees you blast
phew,
Val, and is going to take a shot at you
of
with
course.
his disruptor.
Mm.
So I'm going to take a shot. Um, to do, Jeez, we roll
Action
this.
roll.
So do that. I don't think I want to spend threat, do I? Yeah, because you gave me some threat earlier, so I might as well spend that. So that is three. We'll buy the extra thing. You are going to take seven stress.
Oof, that's a lot. Oh.
Where does it hit you? Like, what do we see?
I think I hear him coming and I turn to like dodge roll, but it still clips me on like the shoulder.
Yeah, and it hurts. That's a glancing shot from a Klingon disruptor there.
Yeah,
Uh,
disruptor
uh,
is hurt.
yeah. So you've ducked behind one of these hydroponics barrels. What do we see you do?
I think there's some covering fire, obviously, but then I'm turning and trying to like shoot one of like the big pollen spore plants that's right in front of him, so like it could like blind the area.
Yeah. So that feels like you're trying to create a trait.
Sure.
Okay. Um, I think it'll still be control plus security.
All right.
Difficulty two to create the trait. Blinding will create like the fictional effect that like he's not going to be able to see you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I use the botany focus for this?
Uh, uh, no, but I will let you use the re-rolls from your obstacle thing.
Fair enough.
How's that sound?
Totally fine. Two. I will spend a momentum for
Okay.
an extra die.
Drop the momentum pool down to three.
Let's see. It's control and security, so I'm
Yep.
looking for 13.
Yeah. So that's three successes. So A, you'll create the trait, and B, you have an extra momentum
Okay.
that you can ask a question, you can put it in the
I'll
pool.
put it back in the pool.
Okay, so tell us what that looks like. Like, what do we see happen? Bless you.
Oh, so yeah, like, he's trying to like take a shot as I'm covering fire, but then like I see like because I saw those toxic plants and I'm like, all right, this one I know all about like how thick the pollen is and I don't know if it'll cause like an allergic reaction, but I know it's gonna when I shoot it, it's gonna fill up the area with like this blinding sort of purplish misty powder.
Coverage. It's a big room, so it's going to dissipate. But for the moment, he can't see you. That's
Hmm.
covered up. He's going to have to move to get in another position to get a shot at you. I'm going to cut away from you. We'll come back. Uh, Ward, what do we see you doing on the bridge?
Well, I think I had said I was going to where Mr. Varric was, so that he didn't feel like he would do anything stupid like go climb into the vents. Um, so I guess I'm on my way there. I don't know if that brings me through hydroponics or
It won't bring you through hydroponics, but and Ray Redan will say, well, I will stay here. Um, uh, Captain. Uh, and because he has your tricorder you've left that there to um, do the ship management, and I will wait here. Um, and I'd like to imagine that you are almost to where Mr. Varick is when Devel hits you on comms. Devel, you have a quick, like 1, 2 sentence here in the middle of this firefight to say what you're going to say to Ward.
We've got a Haskell situation.
understood. And I imagine that although we haven't seen this scene, Devel and Ward have talked enough over the time we've been aboard together that, that is, maybe not code for something really specific, but, you know, the people we're with, we cannot trust kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
So, um, I guess I will change my path to go to hydroponics.
Okay.
Um, Mr.
Then
Barr can take
then
care of himself.
let's do the cut to you running to hydroponics. Deval, I think you've been moving from spot to spot, trying to
Hmm.
keep that cloud up, and you hear this uh person say, "You, Orion, you should really just put that weapon down. There are many more of us than there are of you. Just help us get this ship in order, and you and your friends can go." Look, look, we're birds of a feather, you and I,
Here's the thing.
pirate.
I'm uh, used to being underestimated. I want to like do a called shot. Like I'm trying to like shoot his disruptor.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, let's look at the rules on that. So I think that
It's probably
is
super
disarm.
difficult. Yeah,
It's going to cost uh, 1 momentum to try this shot.
sure. And then I will
Where's-
spend my determination.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, because
I will spend a threat to raise the difficulty to 3.
okay. Good leaders get their hands dirty, I think.
Nice.
So,
So you just
and
need one success to disarm him.
all right. And then I'll spend another momentum, I guess.
Okay.
No, no.
Are you sure?
No, I'm just gonna roll with this.
Okay. So 2d20 control plus security. You need 13s.
Bah!
Oh, look at that.
So close. Wait, do I get the reroll thing?
I'll let you spend one chance at this. One
All
reroll. You
right.
did the action.
Okay. So down to two.
1d20. No.
Yeah, no, the stars are not with me.
You pop out, you take that shot, kind of expose yourself from cover, and take that shot, and he will turn and aim at you. Ward, you see this. You see
Yeah,
that this
I'm gonna.
guy has Devel in his cross sights. Devel has popped out, tried to take a daring shot, has missed.
I'll shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay.
Um, can I just check on the momentum pool because it was on 4, but I
I
don't think
took
we have.
off. There were some spends that I took off there. It should be at 2 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it was at four, and I spent one to do the called shot to bring it down to three.
There was another one before that. It was
All
at
right.
that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I spent one earlier
I'm
for an
going
extra die.
to spend a threat. I think it's going to be difficulty 3, and I'm going to justify that by there still being this haze of pollen in the air, Ward.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to spend a momentum,
Okay.
bring it down to 1, and roll them
Okay.
dice.
Difficulty 3, roll 3d20.
So control plus security, right?
Yes.
Uh, no focuses. Two successes.
2 successes. So
Did we say
you,
we could do a away mission reroll to hit this guy?
yes,
Or
yes. You get one of those one time on this.
so I guess I'll reroll at 14. 14.
So you will
Great.
fire this off,
I'm destined to
and
be shot.
uh, he will duck behind. And now I think there's like you're in one spot, Devel, you're in another spot, Ward. This guy's there. I'm going to spend another point of threat, and I think we will see some more of these Gakarns come in from another one of the entryways. Like, so there's some Gakarn troops now on the ground. Uh, Savari, uh, are you more interested in following this guy through the hatch, fixing the engine, or getting a hold of Ward?
I think my first priority here is to get a hold of Ward.
Well, it's a good thing that Ward has come closer to you,
Uh-huh.
because I think when you go to first, like go to check it, uh, you will Ward will be, comms.
I
Ward, you're kind of
I don't have
behind.
my comms device
Oh, you
here.
don't have your comms device.
That's
Then
why I
I
need to use the
yes,
ship's
thank you.
comms here.
Yeah, so let's do I think this is difficulty 2,
Mhm.
engineering plus
Okay.
reason.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. I do not have a focus on that. Or is that, can I use that as this distress signal?
Oh, I like the way you're saying that. Yeah, let's put that in
Okay,
there.
cool. And that gives me, no, that doesn't give me another die, but that makes the die roll better, right?
Yes. Yep.
Cool, I'm learning this. Yeah, but I do not. Do we still have momentum?
So you'd have to spend that before you rolled.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I think you're trying to get a hold of this that when you will hear the door to the engineering bay open and you look up and you will see that there are a couple of the Gakarns there
Mhm. Okay.
and they have guns out.
Okay.
And they look and they will see you and uh, they start moving towards where you're at. They clearly don't want to fire these weapons in the engine room, but they are clearly moving to
Very clever.
intercept you.
Huh. Okay. I think I'm in the engine room. I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I can make something because they don't seem too friendly, right? And they have weapons out. So I think what I will do is start some kind of sound that will impact. Probably everyone, probably me as well. But since I'm something, I'm prepared. That might give me an edge here,
Okay.
so that I might get into the vent, the Jeffries tube, or
Uh,
whatever we call that here.
Reason plus engineering.
Okay.
Normally this would be difficulty two, but you're
Uh-huh.
actually hitting on a trait that's happening in the ship. So
Okay.
I'll give it to you difficulty one.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. And what did we say? Reasoning plus engineering, right?
Yep.
So it's the 14. I don't want to make a hidden roll. Whoops. Okay.
Two
Is it?
successes.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you will realize, you kind of go
Mhm.
over that there's already some kind of broadcast going on in the ship. Uh, and essentially it is no problem for you to crank it.
Okay.
And with the extra success, I think you'll like stun both of them temporarily.
Okay.
And you can make a run for the tube.
I stun both of them temporarily.
They're not going to get a
Nah.
shot at you. You could get to the tube,
Mhm.
or you could do something else.
Can I create a force field to keep them where they are? Is that physically possible?
That's a more significant engineering thing because you don't have
Yeah.
access to the computers or anything
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Okay. What I will do then is I will grab one of the control. I mean, I have my tricorder, but I
Yeah.
imagine that there might be some panels or something lying around, some controlling panel thingies that you would usually use, like tablets or something, that I currently can't access. But if I take it with me, I can maybe work on it later on.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Uh, uh, let's have you roll fitness plus security. I think it is difficulty one because of
Yeah.
what you've set up here.
Okay. Okay. Fitness, security, this none of this is I'm an engineer. Okay.
I know.
Um, Wait a minute, we have stuff that we cannot use. I
You
will use
have,
the last momentum because
please
everybody
do.
else
3d20.
has used everything else, and I really want to get away. So,
So
yep,
look at that. Three successes.
yep.
You can put two momentum back in the
Mhm.
pool,
Yes, I will.
and you are up there
Hmm.
like nobody's business. This is your
Hmm.
environment. You are up,
Yep,
pop, boop in the
yep,
tubes.
yeah.
Um, Let me come back to Devel. Uh, Devel, there's some more of these Gakaran pirates that have come in. They're trying to move to flank you. Ward managed to like at least like pin down the other guy. You're still injured. What do you want to do?
Yes, me
Devel.
or Ward.
Devel.
Okay, because okay. I think, she'll just drop the phaser and raise her hands. Maybe give Ward a chance to, slip away and do the rescue mission.
Okay.
Because she can't fight a battle on two fronts.
Uh, I think that's presence plus command to kind of create that trait to like give them pause. Does that seem
No
fair?
problem. Yeah, totally. Can I use that etiquette focus? How?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's the parlay or whatever?
Yes, it's parlay.
It's one success.
One success. So I think you will pop up,
Hmm.
and in a moment after Ward goes, they're going to shoot you.
Okay. Yeah.
Ward, you see Devel kind of do that, like, hey, let's stand down. And this guy is clearly going to hit her with that disruptor. And you can see that she's already got this burn on her.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how much cinematic time I have because I think I'm going to do something that is definitely not in the manual and overload my phaser to turn it into a grenade to throw at the group of these who are, coming in.
Absolutely. That gives me a point of threat. But
Uh, yeah,
let's daring plus engineering. How about?
yeah. And I guess I will spend the momentum. Get an extra die. And let me roll. That
Two.
is 13 is a success. So
Two
yep, two
successes.
successes.
So, Devel, you're there, and then you'll hear that sound that you will recognize. You know what a phaser overload is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think we'll see you dive back as Ward throws away her phaser and will take out those troops. And the explosion of that will everything in here. There's dust, debris, just absolute chaos in here. What do you do, Devel?
Oh, so yeah, she dove over one of the planter things and he's taking out the things, but she's going around to make sure anyone else is trying to stun anyone that's still trying to get back up
Okay,
and
so I will give you a shot at the other guy who's still up then. If you
okay.
want, get one shot here.
All right. Uh,
Ward has taken out the troops.
control.
Our last named, an actor who actually gets a credit, is up and trying to hit you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend that momentum.
Please do.
Uh, one success.
One success. So you will fire that off, and that is the point at which you get clipped, Devel,
Oh,
by the disruptor there.
good.
And I think because you're just at that, you're going to take an injury. So you're going to take the injured trait.
Okay.
And essentially you've just kind of fallen unconscious. You can be woken up if somebody can get over. Uh, we'll come back to Ward on that in a second, but you do hit the ground, and the audience is like, "Oh my God, did they kill off Devel?" For just a brief second there. Uh, Savari, you'll pop up into those tubes,
Yeah.
and you are immediately face to face, kind of in that tube, in like it's just the right size for them.
Mm-hmm.
You will see this insect thing that is up there. And
Mm-hmm.
as you kind of pop up, you will see it look at you, and then it will do over where it's like claw mandibles are, it does this.
Okay, I will follow my instincts now, and my instincts say, this is not the threat. The other guys were the threat. This is not the threat. So I will make the same. I will put away the phaser, and I will make the same gesture. I don't know what it's doing, but
And
oh,
that seems to satisfy it, and it will very carefully kind of turn around and start moving down the pipe there. Even as
mm,
you hear the guys down below kind of
mm.
shouting, and can we get up there? Maybe a stray shot, and then somebody shouting, don't shoot in the engineering."
I will follow it, and if I can and get its attention, I will show it the tablet I took from the engine room. Show it to it. Like,
It will do this thing with its hands. It's clearly trying to say like yes, affirmative,
mhm,
like good job.
mhm,
Uh, and it will move you along
mhm,
through here, uh, and you will see it open up a hatch
mhm,
and drop down into this chamber, and you will see another one of these things and Mr. Varick.
oh, okay.
And Mr. Varick is like clearly trying to communicate with one of
Mhm,
these things to
mhm,
with with not very good success right now.
mhm. Okay. Okay. See, that's where the beauty of engineering. Some things are always the same. Like these basic things that you do and use are always the same. So I will take my own tricorder and make some calculations on it and show it to them. Like, and that's about the engine room, how to fix this.
All
like the
right.
computer, and that's supposed to mean the computer is down. How do we get it up?
Reason plus engineering. Let's have you
Yes.
do this to see what the level of go, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to Ward.
Okay. Momentum pool is empty again. Okay.
Threat pool isn't though.
Oh. Nah, it's not. It does not like me.
So one of the things you'll begin to realize is that uh, they're having problems not just like sound communicating, but whatever is going on with them, they're actually having trouble with sort of comprehension. Like something is affecting them, and they're getting frustrated. They're not angry or trying doing anything to you, but you can tell that they are agitated, that they're trying to understand what you're saying, but they're not. Does that seem like a reasonable way to read that? You are muted. You're still muted.
I think the prophet has spoken to me. I noticed that other sound, right? When I did that sound attack.
Yeah.
That's it. Gotta
We'll
check
come
that
we'll
out.
come back to you on that.
Yeah.
Ward, Devel drops. They're still smoldering and smoking, and you'll hear coughing from this guy, and he's like, uh, you need to stand down. Uh, you need to stand
Uh,
down. Look, just just
I think I'm gonna charge into him. I'm not talking to this guy. I'm upset. He just shot
okay.
my friend.
Absolutely. That is daring plus security.
No focuses, no determination left. It's
You want to
just,
give me a threat?
I mean, sure, why not?
Okay.
Um, what could
3d20.
possibly go wrong? That is two successes.
Two successes. Tell me what that looks like. Like how do we see you? This guy's already taken some injury from the phaser fire, the explosion, the dust in his face. He's trying to do this. How do we see you take him out, Star Trek style?
Yeah, I think I do like a shoulder charge into his midriff, and then he goes over, and I think, I give him one punch, and then I shove his face into one of these plants that I remember Devel mentioning as being particularly noxious, right?
Absolutely. And they can pull him up, and of course they've done some makeup on his face where now it's like allergic reaction and welt, and he'll cry out as he drops to the ground there. Um, and
Yeah, and I guess I rush over to Devel
okay,
to see how she's doing.
Devel, you are at one stress now when Ward wakes you up.
Uh, okay. I'm glad you got my message. We have to find Zavari.
And I think the her comm badge is probably like lying on the floor, right?
Yes,
Falling out of this guy's grasp. And I go, what is he doing with her comm badge?
I don't- They would have said if they captured her.
Are you Will we get you back to the shuttle, Devo?
No,
Or
I can continue.
okay. And I'll
Not
pick up
leaving
the
you here by
disruptor.
yourself. Either
Okay.
of any of you.
Yeah. I'll pick up the disruptor and maybe if there's other disruptors lying around, I like take them, like I'll destroy them.
okay. Pitch him into a water tank kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Um,
and I think we'll see the two of you, get yourself together and start to move down towards engineering. Savari, what is it you do to fix this sound problem?
I need access to the sound system. That's luckily enough, I've already played around with it. So I think I'm just using my tricorder to neutralize or harmonize the sound waves here, at least for this particular place we're in.
Perfect. Reason plus engineering.
Again.
You got the tricorder, so I'm going to give you that
Yeah.
extra D20.
Okay, cool.
Difficulty is 1 because we've already set that up, given that you've already
Okay.
worked with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And
Got
I
3
think
successes.
yeah, we'll see you kind of bust that,
Mhm.
and I think you will turn that broadcast off
Mhm.
ship-wide, and this bug thing, now you'll hear it come through Universal Translator. There's a pause, and it says, I can think again. Can, can, I can talk right. Can you understand me?
A crypto translator from Dr.
Oh
Vark,
yeah, absolutely.
or he will translate or whatever. Yeah, and then I will say yes, yes. Thank the prophets.
Uh, the
This is
our ship has been taken over. Uh,
yes, I figured that took me a while. I'm
uh,
sorry.
no, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to scare you. I apologize. We
Yes,
we're
I was a little surprised. I'm sorry for shooting at you.
oh yes. Uh, Boy, you got up into the vents faster than I would have thought. A little pink thing like you could have done.
I'm good with vents. I like vents. That's not my
Yes,
thing.
yes, yes.
Now we should fix your engine room and also get rid of these. And oh, I've got a translator. We've got a communicator again, so we can talk to Ward
Yeah.
maybe.
And Ward, I think that's the point at which you and Savari, Varric, and Devel can link up.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think that we cut forward to pirates in, restraints. You will find their pirate ship hidden away in the docking bay of this vessel. Uh, and it looks like they found this generation ship
Mhm.
and were hijacking it to take it back home for parts and tech. And I think we see that. Maybe we see the Kintsugi arrive outside, and with Captain Vate checking in on you, Ward. Is everything okay, Ward?
Everything's under control, Captain. I'll brief you when I get back aboard.
Absolutely. Let's do the end of episode scenes slash teaser. I think we do have a montage of some of these other insect people as they were in cryostasis being woken up, moving around the ship, pushing the buttons to unlock with the right pin number to unlock the computer, talking with Devel, working with the hydroponics, with Savari in engineering, with Ward at the command console. Like I think we see all those scenes, but uh, Devel, what is the scene you want for the end of the episode? Either aboard that ship or back on the Kintsugi, something else. Who do you want to interact with? What do you want to see?
I'd love to interact with Safari. Devel could be recuperating in medbay because she got blasted by disruptors, and
Yeah,
just put
luckily, what an inch to the left, and he would have been that, fried.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, Suvari, do you think you are seeing Devel? Did you come down to check on her? Were you going for a medical checkup or what?
No, I'm going to check up on her. I mean, I heard that she was injured, and I'm like, oh, man, damn, prophets, what are you doing?
well, pirates, and they're look. I'm a doctor, not a fighter.
Yeah, I'm an engineer and not a psychologist. I should have figured this out way earlier, though, because
Yeah.
But I thought, this is the Starfleet thing where we celebrate our differences and we don't judge people. And I thought, okay, these are a little weird, but there's a cloning sickness when you clone people too many times and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, they're not the sharpest tool in the shed. And I trusted them. I trusted that.
Well, yeah. Luckily, what's her face was real bad at pretending. So,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I thought she was like suspicious of strangers coming in to help because that can go really, really wrong.
yeah. I mean, well, they thought I was a pirate, so
Oh, okay.
I'm used to it, sort of.
Oh,
You remember what it was like in the academy.
yeah, I remember what it was like at the academy. Yeah.
Oh, did she
But
have the side shave in the academy?
hmm?
Did she have
Yeah,
the undercut in the academy?
maybe not. No, maybe
Okay.
she was
You
more.
you changed. I mean, Develle used to shave her head back in the academy,
Hmm.
so it's just like it's been
Hmm.
so like it's you know, it's great to catch up sort of. That
Hmm.
sucked, but you know, it's been
Yeah,
forever since we've gotten to actually like work together and
yeah,
well,
yeah.
maybe less time will involve less disruptors.
I would appreciate that.
Mm.
I didn't even get shot at by the disruptors much. I was in
Good.
events. I was in events, but I shot at the poor. I will know what they are called now. I shot the poor. Because I was like, oh God, what's that?
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
No.
It's not fun.
Hmm. I mean, I won't. I'll try my best.
Yeah.
Last time I was taking my pirates, they were very polite actually.
But the why? Well, what kind of pirates were they? Or like,
And I think that were humans
'cause-
mostly.
okay. See, this is what history's told me. Human pirates, fun, charming, romantic.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. They did kidnap me and maroon me on a planet.
Oh, well, maybe it's different on water.
I mean,
I like that. That seems like a good closer to
yeah.
that. Savari, is there a scene you want to call? Is there something you want to interact with, or something you want to have us see you do on screen here at the end of the episode?
I think by the end of the episode, I think Savari wants to have us a little scene at least with these insect people and maybe just talk to them about their beliefs if they know anything about wormholes and things like that.
Yeah, I imagine we get a little montage of both you in their engineering and them aboard your ship.
Mhm.
And so so your prophets live in wormholes,
Yes, in the one wormhole
but
specifically.
not in all wormholes.
No, no, no. But there are entities. At least I know one and other entity in the wormhole. It was not that friendly.
That we do. This is not a belief or a technology that we are familiar with.
Hmm. Yeah. What are your beliefs?
And I think we will kind of cut to this. We see this long cycle of reincarnation to the earth and chrysalis and
Mhm.
that kind of thing that they will begin to go through.
Mhm. Okay, cool.
Ward, what would you like for your end of episode moment scene?
Um, yeah, I think we can take it for granted that she will have visited Deville in sickbay, um, because that is a ward trope uh, from before. Uh, but yeah, I think maybe it's um, le I think we get a sense that she's catching up with her kind of duties as XO, and maybe she's chatting with Kamalo about like the next the next personal shift changes or like a drill we're going to be doing in the upcoming future. But um, yeah, maybe I have no idea whether that double date that Duval and Ward and Kamalo and Tavalek went on is still a thing, or whether there's some kind of new awkwardness between them.
I do think that there is a sense that Kamalo is like, yeah, Tavilic is not my type.
Um, yeah, so I think we just see them chatting about um, yeah, how things get complicated on the shift when you're also trying to have a social life, right? In the middle of planning like an abandoned ship drill or something like that.
I like it. And I think that our episode kind of is the cut back. The camera pulls away from the two of you sitting there talking companionably, both kind of leaders in very different ways on this ship. Uh, so let's do our end of session stars and wishes, if you don't mind. Uh, Devel, can I start with you?
Sure. I mean, it was real fun getting injured and getting just real shot up. It's like, yeah, these are clones that are kind of dumb and they need your help. No, they're pirates. It's pirates. It's classic, It's great. So Savari getting to like pretty much save the day with communicating with the bug people. It was a great play. We knew Dan had to leave, so Varric getting what appeared to be kidnapped was, a fun, twist. And yeah, I think Ward coming in, blowing up the phaser and taking out those people. And like to pat myself on the back, I'm like, all right, what's something I can say without giving away the plot to anyone that might be listening to Ward? And like, oh yeah, Haskell, duh. So, wishes, looking forward to more interacting with Savari and finally getting Varric to banter more with us. Uh, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna be sad there's only 2 sessions left. Heartbreak.
Savari.
Yeah, stars all around. I'm continued to be amazed how much like Star Trek this feels. Like this is, yeah, I could just see the episode, right? So huge star to all of you, and star to Ward for running to save everybody. I love, and also for talking to these aliens, like yeah, fixing things, but still engaging conversation, right? I like that he's such a personable. She's such a personable person, and I really like Devel in the with the hydroponics. Oh, those poor plants! I really love that. That was fun, and I also liked our scene at the end there. And I'm looking forward to having more scenes like this, and maybe getting a closer personal connection with Lieutenant Commander Ward, because that might be interesting. That would be my wish. I
Okay.
also wish that there were more sessions, but what can you do?
Uh, Excellent. And yeah, I suspect that we'll probably have a mostly onboard ship episode, mission for the last one, just so we have more opportunities for interactions. And Ward.
Yeah, I had fun. I guess reining in my natural kind of play mode of being suspicious of things and just going like, let's take this as face value because that's very Star Trek, right? Let's wait till the shoe drops before we go into kind of fighty mode. So yeah, and I guess I like the way it was pretty perfectly set up to have us all separated in our own areas of expertise, because makes sense. But I guess on the flip side, I wish uh, we could have spent some time with the others, or kind of more time, specifically maybe with Savari, because we haven't seen Ward
Hmm.
and her on screen yet. So maybe next week.
Yeah. Julian, you
But
said you
yeah,
had
I
a,
mean,
sorry, go on.
yeah, I was just gonna say I really enjoy, there's things in the vents, and that's a trope I love
Yes.
in
Uh-huh.
everything. So
Yeah, I was trying to give you all the misdirects I could.
Mhm.
Uh, so, Jolene, you said you had another wish you wanted to mention?
Yeah, like a scene involving someone from DeVille's family, either like just like a video call, like the classic Diana Luxana awkward family frustration scenes. I love that sort of stuff.
Okay. And I will try to get at least one of your B plots on the table next time, Savari, for this last one.
Cool.
So we'll try to
Cool,
do that.
because that would have been another wish to see more of these B plus and what they're actually about. So
Thank you all so much. I am going to stop the recording.